Good afternoon, college coaches. This is Coach Anthony Williams, founder and CEO of Connected Athletics. We are an Austin, Texas-based company, and we're focused on helping student athletes build their network as they go through the recruiting process with other student athletes, and more importantly, helping them build relationships with college coaches during the recruiting process. And our number one goal is to help student athletes successfully transition from high school to college and then either onto a career in the program or into a career in their field of focus or their major. We have got probably one of the most fastest rising top prospects in the class of 24. Yes, I said class of 24. I'm already onto that class because I'm already looking at evaluating players to be selected for the 2020 FBU Adidas All-American game. And this young man earned his invite this past weekend. We'll get into that here in a second. Danny O'Neal is a class of 24 quarterback from Cathedral High School in Minneapolis. He's 6 foot, 165 pounds, strong GPA of 3.6. He's on honor roll. He's a captain on his team. He's been an MVP at many camps that he's been going out to. And like I mentioned, he's the second invite to the 2020 Freshman All-American Bowl game powered by Adidas. Danny O'Neal. Danny, how you doing this afternoon?
I'm good, Coach. How are you?
I'm good, man. That's good. I'm glad you got back home safely. Let's jump right into that, Danny. You know, I've met you and your mom at different events in different states from all over the country. Tell us a little bit about your passion for wanting to travel around the country and compete against the best kids in these different camps.
Just travel around the country is just part of it. Just trying to get and compete with everybody from across the country, from the best athletes that are there, all the way to just everyone else from all across the country. Just trying to get with the best, compete with them, and hopefully come out on top.
Good. Hey, I know you work out with another Anthony, Coach Morelli. Talk to us about that relationship and how he has brought you so far in your development as a young quarterback.
Yeah, I've been going to Anthony's for 3 years now. He's really developed me into the player that I am today. When I started going there, I wasn't, a spectacular athlete or anything. I was kind of, I was an average quarterback, I would say. But he really helped improve my game, improve my physical game, like my footwork, my accuracy, my arm strength, along with my mental game, teaching me all the coverages, all defensive fronts, and everything I need to know about defenses.
Great. Well, Dan, you're transitioning obviously from middle school. This will be your freshman year of high school this fall. Talk to us about that transition, and does it look like you're going to be on varsity at the high school level, or what is the plan between you and the head coach there?
I'm looking forward to the transition. And for the varsity spot, right now it looks like it might go to the seniors' hands, but it's anyone's game, I think. And hopefully I get a chance to play on Friday nights, and we'll see what happens.
Yeah, no, I understand. I think you just want a chance to compete. You want to respect the upperclassmen, but you also want a chance to get out there and compete and go from there. So I completely understand that. Let's talk a little bit about your strong academics, which is the most important thing when it comes to the recruiting process. 3.6 GPA, honor roll. Tell us about the importance that you put on your academics.
Academics is always first. My parents have always told me that, and if I was ever like slacking on homework or just not getting the grades that they wanted me to, and they would make sure that they pause on athletics and anything else outside of school, because school does come first before athletics. Thankfully, I haven't had to do that, and I've been able to keep up with my academics while doing all this training during the week. But I'm sure that if it did ever come to a point where my grades started to slip because I wasn't doing homework or I wasn't studying enough, and I was just focusing too much on athletics, then they would definitely put a pause on that and make sure that my grades got back up before I could start again.
That makes sense. Danny, tell us, what are some of your favorite subjects in school that drives that 3.6 GPA?
I would say social studies, math, and science.
Okay. It's really early. You're just going to your freshman year, but do you have an idea what you might want to major in when you get to the college level?
Business and finance.
Okay. And do you have a career in mind once football's all over, whenever that is? Do you want to work on Wall Street? Do you want to run your own company? What is Danny looking like after football's all over?
I mean, I've never really thought about that. I mean, hopefully it's gonna be a long ways before that time comes, but it could be any day. Um, I really want to own my own business and go from there. I mean, yeah.
Okay. Is there a specific teacher or counselor or tutor that's helped you maintain your high GPA? Give them a shout out right now.
um, they're all my teachers at St. Simon for the past few years. They've all helped me. Uh, they're all great teachers, and they all put their best for all their students, and made sure that we were all doing well. And if any of us were slipping with our grade in that class, and they would make time on either like a Tuesday or just some day during the week where they would stay after and they would help kids, and they could come in late and they would tutor them. So
Okay. Sounds good. Danny, tell us a little bit about your family. I think I've only met you and your mom. Are you an only child? Tell us what your mom and dad do. Are you the oldest, in the middle? Where are you at in the whole family dynamics?
I'm the youngest of three. I have two older sisters. My dad is a dentist here in Indiana, and my mom retired a few years ago. She was a dentist too.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and my oldest sister lives here in Indiana, and then my middle sister, she's out in California. So
So we
all
have
over
a
the
very
country.
similar background. My two oldest siblings are both sisters who are great to me. Tell me what you've learned from your two older sisters as you start the transition to high school.
They've taught me a lot. They tell me all the time, don't think anything is going to be handed to you. That I have to work for everything,
Yeah.
including, that's in sports and in life. So um, they're a big part of. They're very good role models for me, and very good sisters.
Okay. Tell me, what do you do when you're not out working out and not getting going to a camp and get ready for the season? What do you like to do when you're not working out? What are some of your hobbies?
I like boating and fishing, and just hanging out with my friends outside, and um, just being out there as much as I can.
Okay. Are you a big video game guy or no?
No, sir.
Not really. What about on your phone? There's not a teenager that doesn't spend a lot of time on their phone. Or do you have a favorite app? Are you a Twitter guy or TikTok, Instagram? What are some of your favorite apps?
I'd say Twitter probably, uh, Netflix. Like
Yep.
if I want to watch a good movie or something, say I use those two the most.
Tell me the last good movie you saw recently on Netflix.
Um, I would say probably Knives Out. I think that was a good
Okay.
movie.
Yeah. All right. And then tell me a little bit about what are your music tastes? What do you listen to when you work out, or what do you like to listen to in pregame? What are some of your favorite artists?
Um, I like a lot of like hip hop type music when I'm working out and like pregame, just try and get me hyped up. But if I'm not doing that, I like listening to country music.
Okay, I like it. Show a little variety there. Let's switch over to talking to you about as a player. Once again, you're still going into high school right now, but as you go into your freshman year, Danny, what would you consider some of your strengths as a quarterback, and what are some of the things you're going to work on even in your first year of high school?
Yeah, I think Anthony has taught me that the most important thing for a quarterback, it's not throwing the ball or anything physical. It's actually the mental part of the game. And I think that's what I'm best at. I think I know a lot more coverages, and I think I'm just I can identify coverages and know where to beat them as soon as the ball is snapped from my post snap read and even from my pre snap read. So I'd say that's my strongest attribute. And other than that, I would say my footwork.
Okay. Tell me, does Coach Anthony spend a lot of time with you on the mental side of the game? Are you guys on the whiteboard watching film, breaking over the weaknesses of cover three and cover four and two man, two zone? Talk to us a little bit about that part of your preparation.
Yeah, every day that I'm there, we always spend probably 15 to 30 minutes on the whiteboard going over coverages. Or some days we'll just go into his office and we'll watch film for an hour, just however long it takes to go through that film of my upcoming opponent. And he helps me, pick them apart and find tendencies, like what are they most likely to run on first down, second down, third down. Um, you know, how to beat them if they run a cover three, like what combos can we run to beat them, and just other stuff like that.
Well, I'm looking forward to seeing some footage of you in this high school season. But what I've seen of camp is that you really understand pocket presence. Talk to us a little bit about how coach has gotten you ready to understand when to leave the pocket, when to stay in the pocket, when to climb the pocket, and just that whole pocket presence mentality.
Yeah, so he always talks about staying on the midline, and that's just right down the middle of the pocket so that the O line can form space around you. And honestly, just working with my O line from the time I was in third grade, starting tackle football all the way up till now. I mean, I feel like I've just been able to grasp when I need to leave the pocket, when I can step up in the pocket, and just go from there if I need to scramble and go make plays.
Okay. I've actually, since you and I have been following each other, I've had a lot of other class of 24 players reach out to me. And I know your class is still kind of forming, but how would you tell these college coaches, how do you differentiate yourself as a player in the class of 24?
I think personally, I'm probably the smartest class of 24 kid, player, and I feel like of any high schooler even, I feel like I'm right up there with them. Like any incoming seniors, I feel like I could be right up with them on the board, teaching people, and um, also just my ability to make plays. Um, I feel like it's sometimes second to none.
Okay. Tell me, college coaches want to always understand about an athlete's relationship with their high school coaching staff. I know you're not even there yet, but have you had a chance to spend some time with your future position coach and the high school coach?
Yeah, last year I actually went to some practices, just see what it's like, and I got to talk to head coach, quarterback coach, offensive coordinator, and I feel like we're gonna have a very good relationship for the next 4 years.
Give us an idea for these coaches that aren't familiar with Cathedral High School. What kind of offense do they run? What are the schemes you're looking at? What are you looking forward to coming into the season?
We're a lot of spread and RPO um, type. We have a lot of RPOs, and I feel like that's probably the biggest chunk of our offensive scheme. And yeah, our spread part. I mean, we can just throw the ball or run the ball whenever we want. Um, we're just
Danny, for college coaches that may not be familiar with you, and I know once again you're very early in the recruiting cycle, tell these college coaches, would you consider yourself a drop back quarterback or are you a dual threat quarterback to run RPO? Which one are you? Or are you both?
I feel like I'm a mobile pro style quarterback. I
Okay,
feel
I like
like
that.
I'm a pro style, but when I need to get out in the field, I feel like I can make plays.
Yeah, I've seen you at camp. Obviously, roll out to your right and away and to your left, away side, and still be very accurate. Tell us a little bit about how you and Coach Anthony work on, still having very good accuracy and velocity on the ball when you're rolling out of the pocket.
I would say every time that I'm there, I think we work on rolling out and just throwing the ball. And if we ever go to the right, we'll always go to the left too, just to balance that out. And we'll always work on off balance throws, or if we need to, we'll work on just having pressure in our face and just getting around that and just making the throw downfield.
Well, once again, as a reminder, you haven't even played a varsity down yet in high school, but I'm sure you're starting to get some recruiting exposure. Tell us a little bit about what schools you're looking forward to hearing from. Do you have an idea of what maybe your criteria is going to be? But tell us a little bit about the recruiting process so far.
No colleges have really expressed interest, but I'd really be loving to hear from any college really. right
Okay.
now I just want to, have that first offer. I'm just anxious for that, but I feel like when the day comes that I'm gonna be deciding where I want to go, um, it's gonna be just a place that makes me feel at home and makes me feel welcomed.
Well, I think it's safe to say, based on what I've seen you and evaluate you now for about over a year, that is coming here very soon. Do you? I know it's once again it's very early, but do you and your parents have an idea? Do you want to stay close to home? What's your criteria for looking at a college you're going to commit to? Distance, scheme, culture, family environment. What are some of the things that are important to you as a prospect?
I would say the biggest and most important thing is just feeling welcome. Like it doesn't matter where it is across the country. I feel like I can be at home from like Seattle to Tampa or anywhere in between. Um, I feel like I could go, down to UT and be there, UCLA out on the West Coast, or I could just go an hour down the road to IU or just anywhere that will fit me and um, where I feel like the coaches will accept me for the player that I am and just be able to work with me for the next few years that I'm with them.
Okay. Tell us when somebody watched you play at high school level for the first time this fall, who do you pattern your game off of? Is there a certain college or a pro quarterback that you say, yeah, I want my game to look like that as I continue to develop? Who would that be?
I try and base my game around sort of like a combination like Drew Brees in the pocket and Russell Wilson with his playmaking.
Okay.
And I feel like when it comes down to it, I feel like I can maybe make a man miss or something and just be a player just like Justin Fields at Ohio State, the way he just makes plays all day long.
Okay. Tell us, Danny, when did you start? What age did you start playing football? And then when did you fall in love with football as a game?
Um, I'd say when I started playing organized football, I think I was 7 or 8. But I really fell in love when I was probably like 3 or 4. I had the movie version of the Super Bowl where the Colts played the Bears in
Hmm.
2006, and I would watch that every day, just watching Peyton Manning, and Devin Hester just go at it, and from opposite sides, and I would watch that every day.
Okay. Tell us, you're still young once again, but tell these coaches, why do you think your game translates to the college level?
Um, I think my game translates because I can make every throw on the field, and if there needs to be a running aspect from the quarterback position, I feel like I'm fast enough and elusive enough to get a few yards if need be, or if you need me to stay down in the pocket and throw downfield for 50 times a game, I feel like I can do that.
Okay. Danny, you're obviously very mature for your age. I got to ask, is that coming from your mom, your dad, your family? Well, I mean, you seem like you're a kid much older than you are. Have you heard that before, or is it just something that you just kind of come up with?
Um, my dad always tells me just stay humble and kind, and just gotta. That's how you gotta live your life. Just gotta be mature, and I mean, it's just kind of something that my parents have instilled on me.
What are you looking forward to leaving middle school and going to high school? Tell me a couple of things you're looking forward to in playing high school varsity football over the next 4 years.
I'm really excited to just find that new challenge. I'm always looking for a new challenge just to make sure that I can, uh, just play ball. Just I want to. That's all I want to do, really. Just play ball, and football could be all year long. I mean, I would play all year long.
Well, Danny, coaches and fans and broadcasters talk about how the quarterback position gets too much credit when teams win and too much blame when they lose. Talk about how, as a young quarterback, how do you manage those highs and lows?
Football's a roller coaster ride. I mean, you're gonna have the highest of highs and the lowest of lows, and you just got to be able to stay even keel. And you just I mean, that's something that my coaches have taught me, is that you just got to stay level-headed. You can't, you know, if a receiver drops the ball or something to convert a 4th and 2 to keep the game going or something, you just got to be able to go pat them on the back and say, I'm coming back to you next time. Like, just got to be a leader on the field and just got to stay strong mentally.
Perfect segue to my next question. Tell these college coaches how you define leadership and how you plan on leading as a freshman quarterback when it comes to leadership on your team.
I think leadership is just a quality that you have to have if you want to play quarterback, and it's just something that it'll make people want to follow you and go to war with you every single Friday night. And as a freshman trying to lead varsity guys, I feel like I would just have to be that, encouraging voice in the back saying like, you got the next one, or just next time it's going to be all right, or just patting guys on the back when they do something, break an 80-yard touchdown, or if they drop a ball. I mean, and you just got to take responsibility for when you mess up too. If I throw a bad ball or I throw an interception, I got to go tell my guys that that's my bad. I got the next rep.
Okay. Danny, tell these college coaches, what's your best learning style? Are you a visual learner? Are you verbal? Or are you physical?
I'd say I can learn from any types of those three. Feel like mostly I'm kind of a visual learner, looking at the playbook and then going and putting the play down in practice in real life, just seeing how that is. But I feel like I can definitely learn from people when they're just talking to me, or if they're, showing me through something, I can learn from all three of those ways.
One thing I've noticed from watching you at camps is you have fun playing the game, but you're also very coachable. You've been coached by some really great guys, not only your trainer, but Sean Salisbury and Tony Banks, Super Bowl champion. Tell these coaches, how would you describe your coachability as they go through the recruiting process with you?
I think I'm very coachable. If you tell me to do something, I'm going to try my best to do it. If I take a bad drop and you say, get further back or climb the pocket, don't escape, I feel like the next rep, I'm going to focus just to make sure I do exactly what you said, and hopefully just have a good rep. And hopefully then it translates onto the game from what I've learned from all the coaches that I've been taught from. And hopefully it just becomes a habit to do all the right things.
I think I know the answer to the next question, but I'll ask you anyway. You're a good athlete with good size. What other sports do you play? Are you a basketball, baseball, lacrosse, soccer guy? What else have you done besides football?
Since the time I was in kindergarten, I played basketball and baseball as well. I think this would have been my last year playing baseball, but because of COVID, can't anymore. But I think I'm going to run track in high school as well and just focus on football and track.
What positions in baseball? Pitcher, shortstop, outfield, what?
Center field and pitcher.
Okay. And did you carry a big bat or no?
Yeah.
I like it. Okay. Hey, tell me a little bit about, as far as your family, who's going to be involved in helping you make that decision in 3 or 4 years when you decide to commit to a college?
It's definitely going to be my parents, my sisters, close relatives, just people that I trust. Anthony Morelli will be there with me. Just people that I feel know me best and can help me make the right decision.
Let's fast forward 4 years of high school, 3 years of college. You're in New York City at the draft, waiting for Coach Roger Goodell to say your name. Who is sitting at your table waiting for your name to be called?
I'd say my parents, my head coach who invested the past 3 years on me, and Anthony Morelli.
Okay, I like it. Being a good student athlete, Danny, is about sacrificing time. Tell these coaches some of the things you had to sacrifice to maintain being a great student athlete.
I've had to sacrifice a lot of time over the week and the weekends and traveling, like where I could have just been hanging out with my friends, doing stuff, but I feel like I'm getting the best out of it. Traveling, going to these camps, getting coached up, competing against the best from all across the country. Um, I feel like I'm getting the better end of that deal. And thankfully, because of my parents, I can travel almost, whenever I want to go to whichever camp I want, to just get exposure.
Okay. Tell us, going forward, what do you plan on doing in next summer when we're out of COVID-19? Are you going to be at a lot of college camps? Are you going to officially start the recruiting process? Give us an idea of what your recruiting strategy is going to be to get your name out there.
I mean, hopefully recruiting starts as soon as it can. I would love for it to start now, but we'll see what happens. But next summer, I will be attending a lot of college camps, prospect camps. Um, I would probably every weekend be at least one or two, depending on if I can squeeze one in there here and
Yeah.
there.
Okay. Personal question. Tell us, Danny, what do you do to give back to your community? Are you involved with your church? You involved in nonprofit organizations? What do you and your family do to give back?
We donate to the church we go to, and we're always dining out, trying to support local restaurants and stuff. Um, and then we always I always try to stay at Anthony's when the little guys come around, try and help them understand the game, and I try and coach them up as best I can.
Okay, I like it. Hey, as we finish up here, tell these coaches your elevator pitch in 30 seconds. You're in front of whatever coach it is, whether it's Coach Dabo or Coach Saban or Coach Herman here at Texas. 30 seconds on why they should recruit you and what you're going to bring to the program.
I feel like I'm one of a kind type quarterback from the time I was, you know, whenever I started football, 8 years old. I feel like I've always been the hardest worker. I've always tried my best, and I'm gonna try my best to bring whatever college I'm at. I'm gonna try my best to bring them a ring.
And then as far as off the field, what are you going to do to represent the football program and be a good ambassador of the university?
I will try to still help the little guys whenever I can. If they come to a camp or something, the middle school camp, I'll try and be there and just help coach the next generation. I'll also give back to other to the communities, uh, to the universities and stuff. There's just a whole bunch of things that I feel like I'll be able to do as a football player.
Great. Well, Danny, congratulations. I know you've been really working your butt off to earn that FBU Freshman All-American invite, which you earned. I'm excited about having you down in Naples with us in December, but I'm more excited about I get to see you again next month at Top Gun down in Florida. So please tell your family that I said hello. Be safe out there. Continue to work hard, and we'll see you next month in Naples.
Yes, sir. See you next month.
All right. Thanks. Have a good time.